is ON, AM, and FM.
WOON, Woonsocket.
Good morning, and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And a good morning to you. It is Coffee Ann time once again here on ON Radio on this Wednesday morning. It's July the 23rd. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan, and around the Coffee Ann table, we're going to say good morning to John Ward. Hello, John.
Good morning,
nice
everyone.
Bright yellow T-shirt there from
Camp
from
what? Camp Powhatan.
Yeah. Where's that?
Down in, it's just southwest of Roanoke, Virginia, southwestern Virginia.
How's the humidity in Virginia?
It was not bad.
Not bad.
Actually, the temperatures were a little cooler than they were up here. But it was out in the Appalachian chain where you're up in the hills, so it tends to be a little bit cooler. But as I said, it was like driving 10 hours to go to Vermont. It really was. As you drive into the area and around, it is exactly like driving through Vermont.
Okay.
Same mountain chain, so you should expect the same thing.
Right.
But it was beautiful.
But a good time?
It was a good time.
All right, good.
They've been having a lot of rain down there.
Yeah.
Everything is green, where they told me, people who've been to the camp year over year said, usually by now the grass is brown. It's all trampled down because of the kids walking on it. But not this year. It's all green. The ground is soggy and soft. And there was actually some tire tracks in the woods going to the campsite where there was water the entire week in the tire tracks because it never evaporated.
Wow.
It rained a few times and filled it up again.
All right. Tim Draper's here from Navigate Credit Union. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, everybody.
And filling in for Melissa Smith, Robin Noder from St. Antoine Communities. Hi, Robin.
Good morning, everyone.
She's very pinkish today.
Pinkish today. Very bright.
very pinkish. All right. Time for first message, Robin, from what's going on at St. Antoine Communities.
St. Antoine Communities, a large long-term care campus located in North Smithfield, just right over the line, Woonsocket and Blackstone. On the property, we offer an expansive array of services. They range from assisted living to short and long-term skilled care, as well as a state-of-the-art rehab center, a private hospice suite, and 2 large secured memory units. One's assisted and one is long-term care. The 2 buildings on the property are the Villa at St. Antoine, which is our 76 apartment assisted living facility, and the residence at St. Antoine, our 180 bed short and long-term skilled care facility. So if you're presently at a crossroads with your loved one and trying to determine when is the right time to seek more help, I encourage you to reach out to either me, Robin Noder, well, only me because Melissa's on vacation, and I'd be happy to help you evaluate your options. I can be reached at 401-767-3500.
All right, Robin, thanks. And last week we were talking with Melissa because the whole fire down in Fall River was it's still in the news. And I'm sure you guys are following what's going on. Now they think they know what might have caused it.
One of 2 things, right?
One of 2, something mechanical
With
or
recycler
or smoking, discarded smoking in someone's room.
Right.
And they say we may never know because the room that it started in, the person that was in the room, that one passed away. Yeah. It's like, okay. So, and we had, a couple of weeks ago, we had the mayor on, and the fire had just happened. And the Fall River said, "Oh, we're hiring 20 more firefighters." I said, Mayor, how could that? If it happened in Woonsocket, how in the world could you afford 20 new firefighters? He's like, I don't know. And he goes, well, that's their problem.
Yeah.
And then now it's just come out. The governor of Massachusetts says we're sending Fall River $1.2 million.
Right.
For
1 year?
Is that
I don't know.
I don't know. That's the thing. Oh, sure,
let's
let's hire 20. We'll give you the money for it, but then you got to figure out how to get it for the rest.
Well, it probably is.
Right.
It's like the cops program where they'll pay for new cops. Get 4 more cops.
Yeah.
And we'll pay for 3 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you're
Then
on
what are
your
you
own.
doing? We'll figure it out after that. So I'm sure you're following it, Robin. You know everything that's going down there, and just keeping track of what's going on and up here and St. Antoine to make sure everything's okay, right?
Yes, very good.
Excellent. All right. Well, last night, and I'm thinking, Tim, I'm thinking of running down to Bally's.
Yeah.
2 days in a row, catcher's interference that causes a run against the Boston Red
what
Sox.
is that
I'm
about?
thinking of putting $20 down and see if it happens a third time.
Are the Red
the
Sox-
odds must be astronomically high.
How does that happen? Jason Varitek is one of their coaches, one of the best catchers of all time, I think,
Yes.
or game caller anyway. So how in the world does he let that happen? Where the catcher puts his glove too far out.
That's the first one.
That's the problem.
If you watched it yesterday, I don't see where the catcher's interference
Oh, there was no
happens.
I think they blew that call yesterday.
I think they did. He stole home base and he's safe.
He was behind home plate. He wasn't interfering with the front of home base.
And they said he
was
stepped on
behind
home
it.
plate. I go, no, he didn't.
Yeah. Nope, he did not.
Unless his knee hit it. It's tough to tell from overhead what his leg is
you're talking
doing.
about last night?
Last night's game.
Last
Okay,
night's
I
call.
didn't see last night's. I saw the other one where he stuck his glove out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I
Well-
was a catcher in Little League, and one of the first things I learned is wait for the ball to get to you.
That's right. Don't go out and get it.
But it was
Don't
also
lunge for it.
he
Yeah.
also didn't have a full swing. He also checked
No, it
his
was a
swing
check
back.
swing.
So was it really a swing? Did he really interfere with something that was a problem?
If you hit the catcher in any way, it's catcher's interference.
Right. And I guess the question, to your point, if it ends up being called a ball because the guy checked the swing, then how can you have interference with a swing that the guy wasn't intending to make?
I don't
Which
even.
is
I don't
sort
know.
of
I don't even.
subjective,
I don't
but-
even know if it's a ball. I think it's like a non-pitch now. The ball,
Oh,
now
I
the ball,
get
now the
that,
ball's
but
dead.
If it
Yeah.
were not for the contact with
Yeah.
the glove, it would have been a ball.
You up on all this, Robin? By
Are
the
you
way?
fascinated by
No,
this?
no.
Because he checked the swing.
I don't know.
Fascinated slightly.
Yet last night they attempted to steal home base.
Yeah.
The ball comes in, Navarez jumps out and catches it and goes to swipe the tag, and his foot got in. Initially, they called a balk on the pitcher. I said, "Well, I didn't see a balk happen." And then they all got together to discuss it, and they decided it was catcher's interference again. And I'm like, I think he just got it and just stole home base.
Who
And
did the catcher interfere with?
well, they said he stepped on home plate, which is automatic catcher's interference,
Okay.
but he didn't do that. So I don't know.
A replay should be able to show
You
you
would
that.
you would think that. I don't know if they went to a replay on that. Some these rules that some are you can go look at and some you can't. It's just the four of them get together and say, well, now we got to come up with something. But wow, so officially, because originally they even
think
said it
they
on
were-
TV, the official score in Philadelphia said that's a balk over the PA, and then they had to reverse it.
Well, the
Catcher's
issue,
interference.
what they talked to New York about yesterday was they clarified the rule, I think,
Okay.
and they did, but they didn't review the play. They clarified the
What's
rule.
the rule?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were talking to New York, but I don't think that it was for the play itself. It was crazy though.
But I'm thinking of putting money down for a catcher's interference call for 3 in a row.
Tonight,
Of course, when I was in farm league, we had a catcher that actually lunged so hard after the ball, he didn't get hit in the glove, he got hit in the back of the helmet.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Tim and I played Little League baseball together. So Bill Murray was
I
on
heard yesterday, yeah.
I said, and Bill's telling me, because I was catcher too, Joe, you're too far back.
Yeah.
I don't want to get
you're
hit.
at the screen, Joe.
Yeah,
Can you
right.
please come
You
up to the
gotta-
plate a little
You
bit?
got to move forward, and even the umpire who's behind me, who I don't know. Actually, I knew a few of them. It's like, son, you got to move forward.
Yeah.
I don't want to get hit.
Yeah, I don't want to get hit with the bat.
I wasn't worried about catcher's interference. I was worried about getting hurt.
Yeah, right.
Kind of thing. So you got to move up. Well, just, you never know what's going to happen in baseball. So
right.
craziness.
Tonight, let's watch.
All right.
Just no
Hopefully
crying.
they win.
Let's
That's
go for
really
a win.
That's
that
really
would,
the more
that would
important
be
thing.
nice. That would be nice. All right. So, Robin, you're not wearing black, so you must be okay with Ozzy Osbourne passing away.
I'm not wearing black, but yes, I've been watching all of the tributes coming in for Ozzy.
All of a sudden, he's this great musician.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What happened to all there were no tributes 30, 40 years ago?
Yeah, that's right.
He's just, no, he's okay, kind of thing.
He was all right.
That's right. He was all right.
I think that the Osbourne's reality show when he had
That was entertaining.
That was entertaining, and I think that revitalized his
His career?
otherwise okay career.
Well, it was,
His public image.
His public image, exactly.
well, it was funny because you never could understand him.
No,
That's
I
right.
know.
Remember,
I know. That was the best part about it.
Until he shouted out his wife's name.
Yeah.
Sarah. That part was funny because that's what you could
It really
understand.
created her career, is what it did.
It really sent her off him.
She's the one who rehabilitated him.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
She
yeah.
was a great wife.
Well, like I mentioned it yesterday, I did hear it in an interview with Ozzy one time. They said, how'd you start? Well, there he is. He's a young person out in England watching the Beatles. hey, these are 4 guys from Liverpool. He's over in Bellingham or Belfast or something like that. He goes, if they can do it, I can do it. So he did it. He tried his best, and then he tried to find what his niche. And I also read this, late '60s. One of the big songs in the late '60s was Scott McKenzie, San Francisco. And he's like, put flowers in your hair. He goes, I hate this. He goes,
I want to do the opposite.
We got to do the exact opposite.
Right.
And so out comes Black Sabbath, and he played the album for his parents. And then when they were done, they're like, Ozzy, is there anything you want to tell us? And he's like, it's all an act.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So no, there's nothing to worry about. He's not having these weird cult things going on.
I am going to bite the head off a bird, but that's still...
Well, it goes, we're just going in this direction to get away from those people over there.
Yeah.
And it set them apart. I said, pretty smart. Yep. And I agree with Ozzy when he said, I thought it was a fake bat. I thought it was it was a toy.
Yeah.
Plastic or rubber, and that's why he bit the head off the bat.
Yeah, I
never knowing it was real.
Right. Well,
plus was dead.
He probably He was probably pretty stoned at that point to even know
drunk,
what he was doing
or whatever. And so this will be funny.
Right.
I'll rip this off. And
I find it fascinating that when did he do the last performance? Was
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Right?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he sat down in his chair and sang from there.
He must have known it was coming, and he was like, "I'm going to do this last thing. I just want to."
Well, they planned it a few months ago. Let's do one more.
Yeah. But I mean, he knew the end must have been coming. And
maybe
he's like, I want to do one more show.
I don't know how he had the energy, but but he did it.
Maybe he just took it all out of him.
And it turned into a big tribute show. All these other bands, all these other metal bands that showed up, and saying Ozzy's the grandfather, Ozzy's the greatest.
Your story fascinates me because it makes me wonder how many good quality musical groups from the 60s and early 70s would sit there and listen and watch and say, the Monkees? Really? And we can't
Partridge Family?
We can't break into the top 10. Really?
That was it. It was too much mellow stuff going on. So we gotta go in a different direction. We gotta be different than what we're hearing. And so let's assault their ears. Let's just come out and be loud. And look at Steppenwolf. Let's take it a step up from them.
Gary Smith, when we're done, is going to come in and play a bunch of Ozzy tribute songs?
I hope so. Gary, that'll be your choice for today. All right. Let's see. Other things going on. It showed up at Dave's Marketplace in Warwick. They had a gold lobster.
Ooh.
Really?
It came in on the truck.
Did they notify the president so he could come buy it from them?
No, he didn't. But they decided not to sell it. They were, they didn't go in the tank with the other
They better be careful.
lobsters.
The president might take it from them.
Well, they've already,
in the interest of national security.
They've already donated it. So if the president wants it, I thought they were going to give it. I thought it was going to go to Mystic Aquarium. But no, it went to the Biomes Marine Biology Center, which is in North Kingstown. I said, it stays in Rhode Island. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you see that place? They had it on the news last night. It's kind of a fascinating place.
No,
it looks like it's in a retail plaza.
Okay.
And it's and they just have all these exhibits and displays of aquatic life, and the guy takes the puffer fish out and he holds it up and it's all blown up.
Yep.
Puts it in and it goes back down. It's
give them a plug and we can all go down and check out the gold lobster.
The
field trip.
Now, do you put the lobsters in with other lobsters, or do they kill each other if they get together?
That tank that lobster's in apparently didn't watch the news last night.
No, I did.
He's in the tank with another gold lobster. There's two in that tank.
Both male, both female, or one of each?
That I don't. They did not.
Because we need little gold lobsters,
Maybe.
Wait a year and see if there's 6 kids.
That's right.
But they did say that the color of that lobster is the dominant pigment, because the others, the red and the blue pigments that are in lobster shells, are still there, and you can kind of see them.
See it?
But the gold is the dominant color, which is why the color of the lobster is gold. But nobody wants to put it in a tank and make it red, so we're just going to.
No, you don't want that. So okay, and how big is it? They say
It's not
we're
huge.
looking at 10 pounds.
No,
a little
I don't know.
much
I think
less
it's a
than
normal
that?
size, like 2.
Okay, all
It's
right.
not a big lobster, but it's cool looking.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you're not used to seeing that color,
And it doesn't have little rubber bands on its claw, so
so it can't get you.
can't get. I mean, it doesn't have them, so it could get you.
All right, we're going to take our first break here on the Coffee and program. So, Robin, time for a second message, please, from the St. Antoine communities over there in North Smithfield.
Oh, calling all golfers and local businesses. Our St. Antoine annual golf tournament is right around the corner, coming up on August 18th, I believe, at the Lincoln Kirkbrae Country Club. So there's still time to join the fun. So if you guys, any golfers in the room, you can gather your foursome and
I'll
hit
be
the
there.
greens for a day of competition, community, and a whole lot of laughs, plus enjoy raffles, prizes, and the chance to make a difference. Business owners want to get your name in front of a crowd. Sponsorship opportunities are available, or you can donate a raffle item and help us make this event even more exciting. Give me a call, 401-767-3500.
I can vouch it's a good tournament.
All right, and where is it?
Kirkbrae.
Kirkbrae, okay. More Coffee and coming your way. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240.
ON 1240.
They say in business you don't last very long if you don't know what you're doing. And if that's the case, we must know a thing or two at the Carew Investment Group because we've been in the business since 1987, helping people just like you with their investments. At the Carew Investment Group, we employ a conservative approach to client portfolios by using only the best quality companies available, many of which pay quarterly dividends. We look for opportunities that we expect to go up in value not every day, but over time. And we take our responsibilities seriously and always place our clients first in any investment decision. If you'd like to know more or would like a free portfolio review of your current holdings, you can call Paul or Ed at 765-8880. Our office is located at 2190 Mendon Road, Suite 3 in Cumberland, Rhode Island, and we'd love to meet you and see if we can help you with your investing journey. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Upgrade your learning experience during Dell Technologies Back to School event with AI PCs like the Dell 14 Plus featuring an Intel Core Ultra processor starting at $749.99. Supercharge your studies with features like real-time notes transcription, AI accelerated hardware to run multiple apps without slowing down, extended battery life, and more. That's the power of new AI PCs with Intel inside. Discover a smarter way to learn at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON Radio.
It's Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Robin Noter and Tim Draper and John Warden. John, are you happy to see this? The Rhode Island Turnpike and Bridge Authority is receiving $17 million in federal funding. We need to extend the life of the Mount Hope Bridge. Okay. The Department of Transportation grant will fund, they have to do a dehumidification project.
Dehumidification?
Yes, and that's designed to prevent corrosion.
How do you do that sitting over
The bay?
the bay?
Yeah, the bay. I don't know.
$17 million is not nearly enough money for that bridge.
What are they gonna do? Evaluate it?
Yeah, because that's about what it would cost.
Because it's gonna be $200 million before
When
it's
they
done.
when they painted the Newport Bridge, it cost like $78 million to paint it.
And they do that constantly.
Right.
Well,
and they have to wrap it so
Yeah.
that the lead doesn't fall into the bay and it's positive pressure. It's a nightmare.
Officials say the work will help to preserve the bridge's cables and anchors.
Can we just pave it? That would be the
No,
first good
just
thing to
got nothing.
happen because that bridge is
That doesn't
awful.
help the cables.
No, it doesn't. But it's just nothing but a giant bunch of potholes.
But now,
like
if
the
they
old
do
Court
this,
Street Bridge.
Yeah.
if they do this, it's expected to extend the life of the bridge by 50 to 75 years. So we don't have to worry about it. Next time it starts to fall down.
Well, my initial reaction to that comment is, you want to bet?
It's going to last
You've
about
seen the way we do
25
things
years.
in
Not that I'm
right?
going to be here to see it, or not. Yeah, right.
Well, they're giving us the money,
And we're going to take it
and we'll take it,
and
and
put
we'll
it in the
see-
general fund.
We'll put it to the Washington Street
Actually,
Bridge.
they do have to give it to the
Hey,
Bridge and
let's give
Turnpike
Peter
Authority, I think.
Alvidi another raise.
Oh, all right, there you go. He's doing such a fine job, right? Anyway, so it's sad the story out of West Greenwich of that the shop, the auto shop that went up in fire, went up in flames. 79-year-old man hospitalized. He's got burns over 60% of his body because of that. Yep, the victim was rescued from a second-floor apartment above the auto shop. He's in critical condition. The roof and one side of the auto shop collapsed, and the building's a total loss. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Yikes! It's scary, that kind of thing.
That would be heat and flammable paint.
You think so? Yeah.
It's funny. It could very well have come down to spontaneous combustion, right? You put oil-soaked rags in a pile somewhere, and
if you
they
do.
can.
Yeah, they can do that.
All right. Let's see. Lower winter prices for Rhode Island Energy customers. You
Yay.
believe it or not
Please.
believe it? Please.
I hope so.
Well, they can expect to pay lower prices for electricity for this winter compared to last year. The company filed a price with the state, with the PUC, that's 9% lower than a year ago. Costs will be higher from October through March than the summer rates, though, as it normally is, right?
Right.
Okay. However, the company said it's been able to purchase energy at lower prices than over the last several winters.
So that's if you buy the electricity through Rhode Island Energy.
Yeah.
Then that price goes down. But if you're buying your energy through one of the other sources that you have the right to do, those prices aren't going to change. And they're also not. They're
No, it's just
talking
through Rhode
about
Island
the
Energy.
transportation part of that. So there's
Yeah, the
there's two parts to your
delivery-
bill. The
the
delivery.
delivery charge.
Right. So is the
Well, that's
delivery
gonna go-
charge going down?
It doesn't say.
Ah,
I don't know yet.
Interesting.
So it's going up by 9%.
Right.
So it just balances out.
Yeah.
It's probably got
So I
the
don't
same
know.
quality as your Social Security benefits increasing, and so is your Medicaid premium.
So it's really going down, is what you're saying?
I've seen, I don't know if it's a company name, it's called Net Zero. Never mind. Continue.
All right. Well, the good news is
That's the wind farm you have to buy from.
a Rhode Island charity license plate is the best design of the year nationally. We won a contest.
Is that the
which
lighthouse?
One? Which one? The lighthouse?
I think it's the
Yes. The Automobile License Plate Collectors Association, and there's such an organization,
Of course there is. There's an organization for everything.
yesterday awarded the Rose Island plate as the best plate of 2024.
I do like that
Rose
plate.
Island.
Not
yeah.
the shark,
It's nice.
huh?
Not the
Not
shark.
the shark.
No, not
Jump
the
the
sand
shark.
It's the first time in the group's 71-year history that this organization has been around. 71 years that a Rhode Island license plate has won the honor.
Wow.
How exciting!
We're good at something.
Does that get us
John,
money?
thumbs up,
and-
baby.
Well,
It gets us notoriety.
you got to ride these things,
I'm
right?
still disturbed because
Yeah.
last fall I remember the article in the Journal by the guy that works for DMV that was talking about how they were supposed to clear the vanity plate issues for the summer, maybe in July.
Yeah.
Well, it's July.
The
Still
following
not,
year.
they're still not offering vanity plates. I want my cynic plate.
What is the issue with that?
Selection of words they can allow or not allow, and how they're going to make the choice. And they just finished the public comment for
It
recommendations.
doesn't seem like it's that hard to figure out. You can't have swear words.
This is the government.
Good
What's the matter-
point,
what's
John.
the matter with you?
Yes, that's true. I'm sorry. You are correct. I was not thinking.
Let's see. By the way, over at Southwick Zoo, there were 30 people on that ride. You ever been on that ride, Robin?
I believe I have, yes.
Oh, okay. 30 people are safe. They were all rescued yesterday from the stalled aerial ride, the Skyfari. Is that what it's called?
That would be awful.
It's similar to the ski lift. Just you go to a big triangle to go around. The statement from the zoo said the ride was stopped due to, I love this, an unexpected issue.
Really?
No kidding.
Well, we expected it to stop and have to rescue everybody
That's
off
in
the thing.
quotes, too.
Well, that's better than saying it was stopped for maintenance while we still had people on it.
They said they also went on to say the fire department was contacted, ready, out of an abundance of caution. Well, how else are they going to get down?
How long were
Jump.
they stuck up there?
Jump.
I think 30 minutes. Yeah,
Not
jump. You know
I'd
how
have a
high
panic
up
Unless you
you
have to go to
are?
the bathroom, then
I'd have a panic
Yeah,
attack.
it's
you would have a
I would have a panic attack.
it's
Yeah,
probably
maybe.
30 or 40 feet up in the air, 50 feet up in the air, or even more. I'm not even sure.
Well, as long as the tigers can't
Was it
jump
up?
to
Well,
get you,
it was-
you're above the tree
It was
line.
low enough though that the fire department could come in and get them out of there.
They had the 100-foot
Ladder.
ladder to go out and get them.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
it wasn't-
you're
wasn't-
like 75 to 100 feet?
Wasn't short enough for a bucket truck to do it, huh?
I guess not.
No.
So,
Ouch.
yeah.
The weather wasn't that hot yesterday.
That's true.
Let the
That was in the
litigation. Let the
trees.
litigation begin. I was
Oh.
traumatized.
Yeah, that's right. Somebody will say, "Oh my God."
Speaking of that, we get the first person that says they're suing the Gabriel House in Fall River.
Oh,
First
course.
survivor. Yep. Stephen Oldred claims he was trapped in his room during the fire on July 13th. He suffered smoke inhalation and respiratory distress. And he claims the Gabriel House was not properly managed, not properly staffed, and not properly maintained.
He must have read that first or second article after the fire that
I read
said
that
that
the
they had a
woman-
lot of violations in the past.
Yeah. The CNA that was working there.
Got him. Let's
he
get the
goes,
lawyer.
I can't believe this place hasn't been closed down years ago.
Yeah.
It's like,
What's that
But
number
I
again?
still come to work.
77777.
7777777 or 444 444.
I don't. Can he
If he's
sue?
licensed in
Is he licensed in
Massachusetts.
Mass? Is what
Right.
I'm. Because I said that to Bob Lauder. Oh, so bad. You didn't pass the bar in Massachusetts. Because and he agreed. He's like, oh, the lawsuits that are coming are incredible. Speaking of the law, up in Boston, they let 120 defendants. They just dismissed their cases because they all asked for public defenders, and public defenders, for whatever reason,
Are on strike.
they're on strike because they're not getting paid enough. So we're just not doing our work.
But they never get paid enough.
What were the cases?
But don't you know that going into being a public defender?
They tend to be low-level
They are-
cases.
yeah,
there are
they're
a
small.
few. There are a few though that the Attorney General's office is complaining because there's some violence involved in some of the cases, and they don't particularly like that. It's they consider it a public safety issue, and it's putting people at risk. But yeah, 120 cases, the judge. But I think the judge is almost forced to dismiss because there's
Yes.
no attorney available
Right.
for the people who need an attorney.
And that's right in your Miranda
would be
rights. If you
eligible.
can't afford one, we'll give you one.
We'll give you one.
And if
then
you're not giving
it's
us
like,
one,
oh, we can't give you one.
See you
Okay,
later.
Case dismissed.
yeah.
But they'll charge them again. As soon as
You
they
think
get,
so?
As soon as the public defender's available,
As soon as it
they've
ramps
said
up
they're
again,
going to charge them again in many cases.
is it
Maybe
are
not
they-
all of them, but
Sounds so petty.
depends.
Well,
on,
we arrested you
Yeah,
I
once.
like to be a
ones-
shoplifter and go, I just got
The
away
one
with
about a
that. That's
guy
great.
slapping his wife around,
Do
they'll
that
probably charge him again.
Well, all right, yeah. But I was like with Tim, you know, you
I mean,
stole a pack of gum. We're
it's
coming
not,
after you, man.
It's not like New York where we can let criminals out so that they can go try to rob a public safety official who happens to have a gun and he can shoot him in the face. Amazing
well,
story from last week. Did you? I mean, I'm
Let that
assuming.
guy go, right?
I'm assuming you talked about this story at some point on
I
the
don't
show.
think we talked about it last
I
time.
don't
It happened
think
after
so.
our
The
show.
two guys that went to rob a guy in Central Park, I guess, and they had an extensive criminal history, both illegal aliens. But they had been charged in Lowell, Massachusetts. They had been charged in New York a few times, violent crimes, and they were still out walking the street.
Yeah.
Never been thrown in jail once.
Yep.
Two illegal aliens, and of course they went to rob a guy, and he must have pulled his
Resisted?
gun.
Okay.
They
He was
shot
a-
him.
he was a cop, wasn't he?
twice. He shot them.
Yep.
I don't know if he was a cop, but
Could have
he
smoked
was.
to be cop.
He was maybe a police officer, and he shot back. So they both were injured in the crossfire, and the kid went to the hospital, and they grabbed him up there, and then he finally gave up his partner, and the cop is recovering. I guess he wasn't shot in the face; he was shot in
Alright.
the neck, and it hit his teeth or something,
Yikes.
and his arm got hit in
Is
the
the,
arm.
is the
But he's
cop
recovering.
is he in trouble?
He better not be.
Okay, I didn't
Well,
know
it
if
is
that's
New
where the
York.
story.
It is New York.
They-
Probably
right.
trouble. He's
It is
probably
New
won't go
York,
to jail.
so they
You were
might
wrong.
put him in jail for daring to shoot somebody who was shooting at him.
Yeah, I just thought that's where the
how
story was
dare
going.
I don't know. I suspect he's not going to be in trouble
Okay,
defending
cool.
himself, and he's got a license to carry. So
Now you got the article about the 120 people
Yeah.
released yesterday. Does it say anything on when the public defenders in Massachusetts or in Boston might be going back to work? I know they're looking for more money.
they've
That's their-
proposed pay increases from 65 an hour to 73 an hour, and
They don't like it too
for the
little.
district court 85 to 105,
That's pretty good.
Superior Court 120 to 150, but it doesn't say anything about when they might go back.
Okay.
Don't you choose?
I think
you choose to be a public
Of course, the
defender,
governor,
right?
Mara Healey, that pantheon in the history of
Super
government
conservative.
officials, did say that this situation needed to be resolved.
Well, thanks, Mara.
Brilliant. No, it doesn't say anything about when. It's just that they're out on
I think.
works.
Are they complaining about their caseload too? And there's just not enough of them.
Every public defender's office justifiably complains about their caseload because,
okay.
I've known of people who have had to rely on a public defender, and it's like, oh yeah, they gave me 5 minutes, and all they'll do is come in and tell me to cut a deal, because they don't have time to deal with actually going into court. So, public defenders are not exactly an effective defense mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Are they the bottom of the law class? Is that?
But it did say the district attorney's office
I'm not
plans
sure.
to re-prosecute.
Oh,
all of the dismissed cases.
Okay. Well, all right. We'll let you out now, but we're going to come back and get you when it's more convenient.
As soon as we know we can get you a lawyer,
Wow.
we'll give you 10 minutes.
Okay.
That'll give you a bit of
We're
time
back
to
in business.
Yeah.
get out of town.
So,
That's
don't,
right.
Don't go far.
Yeah, don't leave town. All right, we're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program. More coming your way. The time for the forecast being brought to you by Unbound.org.
Mostly sunny skies today with a high near 84 degrees and calm wind becoming southwest in the afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear, overnight low of 65. Thursday's weather, sunshine and 88. Friday, sunny and hot with a high near 94, but with a southwest breeze. Saturday, partly sunny and 84. Sunday, partly sunny and 82. Monday, mostly sunny and 83. And next Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 87 degrees.
Outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, where we have bright sunny skies and 65 degrees. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor, an elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change the world, and it will change your own at Unbound.org.
Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogies with onions and what they call dirty sour cream. Or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported foods. Open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 in the morning till 6 p.m., Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 8 to 5 p.m. It's Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse. Follow us on Facebook and learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street, Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
Since its founding, the Valley Breeze has been the trusted source for local news in the Blackstone Valley. Our readers and advertisers understand that shining a light on all aspects of our communities and doing it with some of the best local journalism makes these cities and towns better places. We believe that truth should triumph over rumors and misinformation. See valleybreeze.com or any of our 5 editions for more on how you can be part of this local news success story. The Valley Breeze, making our communities stronger by telling their stories.
We are local and live at 99.5 FM.
It is Coffee In on ON, AM, and FM. We thank you for joining us this morning. Joe Callahan here with John Ward and Robin Noter and Tim Draper. And Tim, time for your first message from Navigate Credit Union.
Thank you, Joe. Buying a first home is exciting. It's also one of the biggest decisions that you're going to make about your future. We'll give you the guidance that you need so that you can feel empowered and confident throughout the whole process. We offer a wide range of calculators that will show you what your upfront costs will be when purchasing a home. They can also give you a realistic picture of what your monthly mortgage payment and other expenses would be. This will allow you to make the smartest decisions about financing. Our knowledgeable lending team experts will walk you through a variety of different loan options based on your individual situation, helping you guide to the scenario that best suits your finances and your goals for homeownership. Getting started is easy. You can stop dreaming and start doing by going to navigantecu.org. And also as part of the program, we have great seminars, first-time homebuyer seminars that you can participate in. Sometimes they're at the credit union, sometimes they're in your community. So give us a call and find out when the next first-time homebuyer program will be launched.
All right, Tim, very good. Well, it looks like the Democrats in the summertime like to go to Martha's Vineyard. And the Republicans go to Nantucket. It's split. Because, I say that, J.D. Vance was in Nantucket yesterday for a political fundraiser. If you wanted to attend the dinner, it was $100,000 a plate
Wow.
for some chicken and some rice.
Rubber chicken.
Yeah, that's what you get. Well, it was at a private residence, so doesn't say who, but it was there to raise money for the Republican National Committee. Don't know if he's still there, but
Yeah.
he was on the island.
There's
yesterday.
a bunch of videos yesterday online that were showing the security detail C-5 coming in to land at the airport, and then the
on the island.
yeah, and then
Okay.
JD's plane flying in, Air Force 2 flying in the airport. It's like a big deal over there.
No, sure. I didn't know the island could handle those big.
I didn't know we
airplanes.
talked about the vice president much. We usually talk about the president going to those places.
But Trump never comes. He's got his own place in
He's got his
Florida.
own
Why
place
would
in
he go?
Florida,
Why would he come up
Right.
here
Well,
to
it's
New
cooler
England?
up here than it is in Florida.
True, but no, he doesn't. He doesn't come up this way. This should probably not surprise you at all. Maybe a little, but Rhode Island is the 18th most expensive state to rent housing, according to a new report.
No surprise.
John's
Not
chuckling.
I
surprised.
actually thought
in
it
the
was
least.
higher.
Really? Okay. The National Low Income Housing Coalition compiled a report which compared the median cost of rent to the income levels required to cover the expense in each state. So in Rhode Island, you must earn over $25 an hour to comfortably afford a market rate one-bedroom apartment.
Does it
In
say
what
what it is
town?
in Massachusetts?
It doesn't say. We had the story yesterday. Mass was a little was higher.
Higher.
Yeah. I guess they're taking every town, Robin, and averaging it. So there you go. The current market rate. Any idea? Here we go.
$1,200.
For a one bedroom?
A little higher for one bedroom
15.
apartment.
One bedroom is about 18, isn't it?
$1,300.
Oh, 13, that's all.
Well, it's that's the average.
Such a bargain.
Such a.
What a bargain.
I just remember my wife and I getting our first apartment. It was a two-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
$700, and we thought that was high.
Yeah, you're
It's
young.
high, but I think we could swing it, and well, we did.
I actually moved in back from. I had moved out to New York for a year and moved back to the city, and I actually got an apartment. 3 bedrooms, 3rd floor, tenement house, $25 a week.
All right.
It's crazy.
And the landlord said, "I just want to use the apartment to pay my tax bill." I said, "Happy to do it."
Here you go.
So he didn't make,
25
he
bucks a
didn't-
week to pay the tax bill.
He
So-
didn't make any money off you, huh?
He just wanted to pay his tax bill.
Wow.
I guess he had no. He probably by the time he was older, he probably had no mortgage by then. So he just wanted to cover the bill, and that was enough for him. He said, "Don't be a jerk, otherwise I'll throw you out."
Oh,
But
well, there you
pay my-
go.
Pay my tax
Don't
bill.
be-
So I was a good
don't be a
tenant,
jerk.
and I
That's what you
paid
could
his
say
tax
that.
bill. It was wonderful.
Robin, you remember your first apartment? What it cost, or your first house?
Ooh, first apartment? Yeah, I do remember it. It was $600 a month.
Okay, Tim.
Mine was we moved into a friend's house that they had bought from her grandmother. It was a 3-family in Pawtucket on Sabin Street, across the street from Our Lady of Consolation. And it was
I know where that is.
$250 a month.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was electricity, heat, and water all in.
How'd you get the electricity in that?
That they took care of it.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Okay. Mine was in Foxborough. It was an apartment complex, and we had tennis courts. We had a swimming pool. It was nice. So my wife and I are swimming in the pool one night, and 8:00, along comes this elderly couple. Okay, you got to get out. Why? Well, pool's closed. Says who? Says them. Who are you? Well, we live over there. I was like, all right. Well, have a nice night. and I went to the landlord, the company that ran the place. I said, who are these people? Oh, they think they own the place.
Oh.
And they go around every night at 8:00 to tell people to get out of the pool. And they said, just say, yeah, sure, we'll be out in a few minutes, and they go away.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
And stayed in the pool for
It
another
was-
hour and a
and
half.
we stayed in the pool because we wanted to. It's like, this
I think my kids,
bizarre.
my kids who haven't, I don't think they have a pool in their complex in Waltham. 2-bedroom apartment. I think they're paying close to $3,000, maybe $3,200 a month.
Wow.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my God, that's a mortgage payment from. Well,
Yeah.
it's close to a mortgage payment for a lot of people if you don't buy $1 million house.
Well, for the
Yeah.
mortgage payment I was paying, any kind of rent on even a 2-bedroom is much more than my mortgage payment.
Right. Well, it's almost you just wonder. This is going to sound really weird, but if the reason people don't buy houses is because they can't afford the down payments, so they can't get the financing.
But the funny thing about that is, you do that, you get into it. If you do it anyway,
Yeah.
within 10 years, that's flipped. now you're on the low end of spending
Right.
compared to what it is otherwise
Right.
for rentals and for.
But is it instead of incentivizing people with supplemental rent payments and things like that, is it almost better in the certain circumstances to just help somebody with their down payment to buy the house?
Yeah, but a lot of people can get that first-time home buyers.
Right,
grant
and it's a
right
good
now.
rate, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like 10% down.
Yeah.
But then you got to get PMI insurance, and there's
Right.
a bunch of other things you got to do to get that.
I think the problem is more they can't get they can't afford the mortgage payment now with 7% interest rates and housing prices are now like first-time
Well,
home buyers
that's-
it's 400,000 and up right now
Right.
for a decent.
Right, it's probably more
Single
than that
family,
too.
yeah.
You're right. You're 100% right. That is definitely an issue.
One of the things that grew my disdain for government was the fact that after I had my mortgage as a first-time home buyer with no program, it only took about a year or two before all of a sudden they were saying, if you're a first-time home buyer, the government will give you $5,000 to buy your house.
Yeah.
And you missed
And
it. Yeah.
I'm not eligible.
Yeah, right.
There's no retroactivity, and so I gave him the salute. And it's like, no. Why is the government interfering with the markets? I don't like it. But it triggers economic activity, I guess, by having them build houses, which nobody's building anymore. So
Yeah.
Well, that's the other issue. Inventory is so low that there's just
Keeping
not
the price high.
And
keeping the
there's
prices
no land in Rhode
artificially
Island
high.
to build on.
Well, I think there's land, but there's no land that other people will let you build on.
Right,
so
right,
it's the
right.
not in my backyard. So nobody wants affordable housing.
especially those
Nobody
people
wants-
in Cumberland that demand you have 2 acres.
Well, that's. I don't think we should have 2 acres. I'm not a big 2-acre fan. I think you do a minimum of an acre, or less.
If you go down to West Greenwich and Exeter, there's tons of land.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the other thing too
Oh
is,
my gosh,
as you
there's
fly
tons of
over
land.
the state,
Yeah.
everything past like the landfill in Johnston.
Yeah.
There's more trees and woods and area in the state. Half the state is covered with trees.
Yeah.
It's just we just see all the pockets and concentrations of building and development that's on this side of the dump.
Yeah.
Mount Trashmore. On this side of that, it's all developed. And then on the other side, the western side of 295, it really is very much undeveloped.
Yeah.
And I bet that's the way.
That's because they
people
can't
want
send the RIPTA buses out there.
Oh, sorry. Let's not go into that.
it. Ripped her.
All right.
RIPTA.
So South Carolina is doing this. They're not leaving it up to the individual cities and towns. Statewide ban on cell phones in South Carolina schools starts this coming school year.
Excellent.
Statewide.
Yep.
Excellent.
100% should do that.
I approve.
Excellent.
South Carolina students will be prohibited from accessing devices beyond their phones, including tablets, smartwatches, and gaming devices. Though each school district is required to implement a cell phone ban, the specifics of where students keep their phones during the school day depend on the district.
See,
but it
that's
is
because
statewide.
their legislature has guts.
I
Yeah.
noticed you said tablets in there too.
Yes, I did.
Aren't Chromebooks tablets?
I don't think they're considered tablets. They're considered laptops.
Well, here's
Okay.
here's the problem. Some of the teaching that's being done now is done on tablets. I'm going to use a private school as an example, but I think that there are some public schools. Oh, maybe there's not. But one of the private schools locally requires a tablet that you have. That's where your textbook is going to be on the tablet. Your notes can be taken on the tablet.
Was the school provided tablet?
Nope.
It's a private school, so you're going to buy it. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it's
But I mean,
it's like
to
buying
your
your
point-
own pencils.
to your point, though, if you prohibit tablets in that particular situation, are you taking away any of the learning
Well, they
ability?
just have to go back
I'm
to
going to
the
make the argument you're
old school
enhancing
way.
learning.
Old school.
Because
Right.
I forget which Scandinavian country it is, maybe Finland, where they had handed out, of course, being somewhat socialist up there in Northern Europe, they handed out tablets to everybody. This is how you're going to learn. We're not going to use books anymore. You're going to use the tablet.
All right.
And reading scores over the course of like 5 or 8 years went in the toilet. And they said, forget it.
Pull it back.
Get rid of them all.
Bring back the
Get
books.
us paper, books. You're using books. You have to actually read something. And
Scores go up.
they got they're waiting to find out.
Okay.
But it's basically they determined that the use of electronics was actually detrimental to education.
Interesting.
And go back to
Wow.
books.
I agree.
Okay. Well, I don't know of any other state right now that says statewide ban. So I know Rhode Island.
I congratulate them
for doing
for
this,
having the
guts to do this,
being brave
Intestinal
enough
fortitude.
to do
Yeah.
it, as opposed to the
we'll leave it
great
up.
state of Rhode Island, which so often passes laws that they call enabling legislation, which leaves it up to the local governing bodies to make decisions. And oh God, what they do when they give them that option. The state's got to need to develop some testicular fortitude and just make a rule.
Right, make a rule and make it for everyone.
Be brave.
All right.
Don't be a coward. Be brave. Actually make decisions.
We got to take a break here in the Coffee and program. So, Tim, time for your second message from Navigant Credit Union.
So we just talked about first-time home buyers, but Navigant has a full array of other mortgage loans if you are looking for them. So your traditional mortgage loans, fixed and variable rates. We also have new beginnings mortgages. So let's just say, for example, you had a tough patch, credit got kind of dinged a little bit. Maybe you've been through a separation, stuff happens, life happens. Our new beginnings mortgage loan program will help you get back into that home ownership possibility. So you got to talk to they're individualized, so you got to talk to a representative. But certainly we do have some options from that perspective. We also have VA loans, FHA loans, jumbo loans. If you can buy a big house and you're looking for a big nut, hey, Navigant Credit Union can help you with that as well. But probably one of the best and most effective loans that we have is our construction loans. There's a lot of construction loans. When you get a loan to build a house, you close on the loan to go through the construction process. Then you have to reclose on the loan and turn it into a mortgage when the house is built. Navigant's case, you close one time at the beginning, and then we just modify the note at the end of the construction process into a mortgage. So it's much easier in terms of the process. We also will do rehab loans, and we can always refinance your loans if you think you're paying a little too much. Although right now I think everybody's paying a little too much. So, but all things in, if you have any questions about any of the mortgages, you can go to navigantcu.org. It's the website, or give us a call, 233-4700. We have a team of mortgage specialists that are happy to assist.
Very good, Tim, and more of Coffee and coming your way. Stick around.
ON Radio.
Back to school is on the brain. That means new notebooks, pencils, new everything. And while the kids are getting ready to get book smart, it's time for you to save smart with Straight Talk Wireless. Switch now and get a free Moto G 2025 with 5G when you activate select plans. Now that's a smart call. Get Straight Talk covered by Verizon's 5G network. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Offer valid through 10/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Purchase of gold unlimited plan or higher required for offer. Must activate the plan in-store at Walmart. Cannot be combined with other offers.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
ON Radio, ON Worldwide.
It is Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan along with Robin Noter, Tim Draper, and John Warden. John, you brought another piece of paper there. What's
Before
this?
you get to your ridiculous stories,
yeah,
I've got a ridiculous story
What's this fire
that
aid thing?
justifies my disdain for government. In California, of all places, which
Oh, that's
you would
surprising.
expect anyway, they had 2 fire aid concerts for the Palisades fires.
Okay.
And they
2
were
concerts.
raising money to help the victims
Rebuild their
to
homes?
recover.
Okay.
Which-
Sounds great.
They barely got any permits yet issued. But they collected
okay.
more than $100 million in donations. And they created, they had the Annenberg Foundation collect all the money so that they can do the distribution. They distributed $50 million so far, none of it to the property owners.
Who's it going to?
The money is not intended to go to the property owners. It's to go to, you ready?
Builders?
Non-profit corporations. So
they can distribute it to the owners?
So they can, well, in theory.
In theory,
I mean, the
yes.
whole point when you were giving the money, it was to help the people in the homes.
Yeah.
However, some of the organizations that have received the money Pathways LA reaches primarily single-parent families with a median family income of $12,000, with an executive compensation for that organization of $291,000. How many people do you think are in less than $12,000 that lived in the Palisades?
No one.
Nobody.
Zero.
No one.
0.
But they got a pile of money. Another nonprofit that got money after the fire is located in Sonoma. Their motto: we coach, we convene, we collaborate, we advocate. And I don't know what that has to do with giving people money to help build their houses. In 2022, on the 990 form, they listed $120,000 in compensation for the executive director, with only net assets of $474,000. Another one, California Native Vote Project, which is sponsored by another nonprofit, Community Partners. The mission is to achieve justice and self-determination for Native American communities through multi-generational power building, organizing, and civic engagement.
Have you
What
mentioned?
is that to do with fire?
I was going to say, have you
No,
mentioned anything
nothing.
about building a house?
Nothing
No,
yet.
none of these.
Nothing yet.
And the interesting part is the chairperson of the committee designated to determine how to distribute the money
Yeah.
is the governor's wife.
Oh boy.
And then another one in Depska, which is received fire aid money. Its mission to create a more humane and democratic society by responding to the needs and problems of disenfranchised people through leadership development and educational programs based on popular education methodology. Specifically, our goal is to organize and educate immigrants concerned with solving problems in their own communities. The executive compensation is $111,408, but other salaries and wages are $1.2 million, which was about 60% of their nonprofit revenue. So clearly what they're doing is they're funneling all of these proceeds to these
Nonprofits.
unrelated
Yeah.
to the fire nonprofits.
But you'll do good with it though.
But I mean, what is? I mean, all of that gibberish makes me want
Yeah.
to go use some mouthwash, spitting all that crap out of my mouth. And it has nothing to do with.
Building
And
a
so
houses.
this TV station out there did an investigation, and they're going to expand on it about where all this money's going
Oh,
and
well,
how.
good.
And they've started asking questions of these nonprofit organizations. So, how much have you contributed to help recover?
What
and
have you
so
done?
far, they've received no
Nothing.
response.
All right, great,
Build
great.
houses. That's what happens.
it's-
Houses get burned. They need to be replaced.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
This
and
is the
insurance
kind of
is out.
thing I would expect you will probably see Pam Bondi's Justice Department investigating because it's a fundamental corruption of charitable giving.
Too busy reviewing Epstein documents. I don't know if that's going to happen.
And when stuff like that comes out, people stop giving money to charitable
And they should,
organizations.
if it's
Yes,
gonna
because you have
happen
no
like
idea
that.
where the money's going or it's going
I
to the
wouldn't
wrong
give them a
thing.
dime now.
Yeah.
One of the things I look at when we distribute money is we look at executive compensation.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying they shouldn't be compensated. Don't get me wrong. 'Cause some of these organizations are big organizations. They're like running a giant business.
Yeah.
And executives get compensated. I understand that. But if your 60% of your revenue goes to salaries and benefits,
You're an employment agency.
yeah, you're not really doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. Now, what the number
Because
is, I don't know.
if 60%, well, no, 60% of their is expenses. I don't know if it said salaries, but if it was salaries, you have to consider too. That means they're also paying rent, they're paying insurance, they're paying
Yeah.
consulting fees, they're paying a whole bunch of other things that
Right.
add to it.
All right. On to silly stuff.
Okay, John,
There we
you
go.
ready? Robin, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
A naked man is accused of trying to set a Florida gym on fire. 25-year-old Henry Antunez Alvarado ran through the Planet Fitness in Fort Myers at closing time. I thought Planet Fitnesses were open 24 hours.
Not anymore. A lot of them are not.
No, okay. Closing time at Fort Myers. He tried to start a fire in the bathroom, and then he hid in a tanning bed. He'll never look for me here.
While I'm here, I'm going to flip it on and get a pretty good tan.
So he's facing
A no-line tan.
He's facing multiple charges, including indecent exposure and arson. So, but this reminds me of another story of a Planet Fitness, and this happened in New Hampshire, not at closing time at a Planet Fitness. This happened, oh my gosh, 8-10 years ago. And a man comes out of the locker room, not wearing anything, starts working out. They go up to him. Sir, what are you doing? And you know what his excuse was? What's the tagline for Planet Fitness?
Oh, yes. Good Lord, now it just ran out of my head
No
when
lumps.
you thought of it.
No, not that. Close.
Judgment-free
It's the
zone.
judgment-free zone.
Yeah.
He thought he wouldn't be judged
Oh, for working out naked?
for working out like this.
Well, I wouldn't have judged him. I just would have thought he was an
Talk
idiot.
about wiping down your equipment after you use it.
And that's a whole new dimension to that.
So
So,
often stories like this inspire so many quotes from Monty Python.
yeah. So,
Rudy.
yeah. So that's not quite what we meant.
No,
So
no.
I'm not sure if that man was arrested or not, but I do remember reading that story, and I actually told that story to a Planet Fitness employee who said, "Yeah, they had heard of that happening in New Hampshire, and we hope it doesn't happen here." So I said, "Now that's."
But if we do, we have industrial strength cleaner
That's
for those machines.
funny. So, all right, down in Texas, a mystery is washing up on the Texas beaches. A recent spike in plastic piggy banks brought in by the tides. They're just showing up. Texas A&M researcher Jace
Plastic piggy
Tunnel
banks?
found 1 dozen this week near Corpus Christi.
Are they the same? If they're the same piggy bank, I wonder if it has to do with a
It's-
shipping company losing a container of those things from China.
Maybe. He posted about it on social media, said the response was shocking. Similar piggy banks are being found all across the Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
One theory is they came from Cuba's Bay of Pigs, but there's also a tradition in Mexico, he says, of throwing piggy banks in the water. I haven't heard of that tradition. So
That seems like a weird tradition to me. Is there money?
Are
they
they
don't
empty?
they don't
I hope
say
so.
there's money in there. Maybe there's a coin.
Well, if there was money in it, it'd be sink.
Drugs?
No, they don't say about anything being in the piggy banks. But they're just washing up on shore, so
All right, that's just.
I don't know.
that's a weird
It's just bizarre. All right, and some people just have a lot of time in their hands, and some people put it to good use. Like this father and son team, they came up with this idea. They said, "Here's a good idea," and they have successfully rowed from California to Hawaii, across the Pacific Ocean,
Cool.
taking turns
in a rowboat.
in a rowboat. Just here we go.
Wow.
Tim and Harrison Crockett say they wanted to be the
David's
first
kids.
father and son duo to row the Mid-Pacific route, and that's what they did, rowing more than 2,400 nautical miles starting on June 3rd. They arrived from the San Francisco Bay last weekend, finishing their 44-day journey at Hilo's Grand Nanaloa Hotel. They also set out to raise awareness about veterans' mental health. Tim Crockett says the issue means a lot to him, and after he spent 12 and a half years in the British military.
Sure.
That's pretty
when,
cool.
When you raise, I wonder how you raise money. That sponsorships, I would imagine. People pledging you,
Pledging
for
you money if you make it.
mile.
Yeah, I guess. Doesn't say how much they raised.
Yeah.
But we're going to go from... You think they'd go from San Diego to Hawaii? It's a little shorter
route, right?
But from San Francisco to
Maybe
there.
the tides,
but
the
okay.
current is better from San Francisco.
I wonder, it doesn't say about... Did they
if
run
there was
into
an earthquake, they'd ride the
storms?
tidal wave, the tsunami in.
Yeah. Is it going in the right direction? Not going in the right direction? So, I don't know. So, there you go. So, that's good for them, and they made it.
Yeah.
And they didn't get washed overboard or nothing like that. So, I'm
And it had to be 40.
happy about that.
You know, they must have brought 60 days worth of supplies, at least, which means
Yeah.
it's not exactly a small rowboat.
Oh, no, these things are good size.
They're huge.
Yeah.
So to row one of those is not exactly
It's going to be tough.
going around the pond.
No. No, I guess not. Plus, it's the ocean. You're dealing with the waves and storms, and
Right.
I don't know. Okay. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy is breaking ground on the first of its kind health facility for mothers and babies. The governor and the First Lady, Tammy Murphy, joined other government officials as well as health and faith leaders for the groundbreaking of the Maternal and Infant Health Innovation Center in Trenton on Tuesday. It will serve to advance medical technologies that promote maternal and infant health equity and address racial disparities. The MIHIC is located in the heart of Trenton. The state has committed more than $86 million in federal and state funding to bring the project to life. Seems like a good idea.
Seems like a good idea.
I thought that's what Planned Parenthood did.
They're getting defunded,
Yeah, they're
aren't they?
getting defunded.
So we can't go with them.
I don't think they were planning this knowing that Planned Parenthood was going to be defunded. I'm just saying. I
Yeah.
thought Planned Parenthood was there to help clear up some of these issues associated with, what's the term they use there? Diverse communities? Underserviced or...
And advanced medical technologies to promote maternal and infant health equity and address racial disparities. Health equity.
And address racial disparities.
Yes.
I just would have thought Planned Parenthood would do that because actually it's about parenthood, isn't it?
Does Planned Parenthood do that?
It's not about non-parenthood. It's about parenthood.
Planned Parenthood seems to be a lot about non-parenthood. But we don't have time to go into that now. All right, that'll do it for the show for today. We thank you very much for listening in. Always appreciated. Robin, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
You can be with us next week?
I will.
Excellent. Good. Glad to have you here. And Tim, thanks for being here.
Thank you, everybody, for having me.
All right. And John Ward.
Great to be back.
All right.
And thank you very much. And enjoy, before the heat wave comes.
That's right.
Enjoy the God-given day.
All right. This is Joe Callahan. Have a great day. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do your members coming up after the 9 o'clock news right here on WOON Radio.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Former President Obama's office is pushing back on recent